We all have friends that like to show off what they've got. Hell, I even have a cousin that calls me just to tell me about the stuff he's accomplished and bought lately. They call this flexing nowadays. What happens though when the money you're flexing actually comes from people that you're scamming? On this week's episode of Caught, presented by Catfished, we're going to be taking a look at a catfishing story of Ruben the Flexer Sarpong, who's accused of an elaborate online dating scam that frauded more than 30 people out of $2.1 million. Ruben was a 35-year-old male born in Ghana who's currently living in Millville, New Jersey. He partied in his free time and kept a lot of cash with him at all times. Seems like a pretty fun guy. On his Instagram page, he liked to do a lot of flexing, with piles of cash, designer clothes, jewelry, foreign cars, and expensive liquor. Sarpong never forgot to brag about his elegant lifestyle that he had been living through his Instagram captions in his photos. Unfortunately for him, that became a reckless behavior and came with a consequence. Sarpong didn't realize that when you're doing all that flexing and all that talking, you're getting a lot of attention. Some good, some bad, but mostly it's all bad. Especially when you're making all of your money from fraudulent means. Attention is the last thing you need. Sarpong was arrested on September 4th and charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud. For anyone who doesn't know, wire fraud is receiving money electronically with the intent of scamming or stealing. Investigators reported that Sarpong allegedly received over $800,000 in victim funds into bank accounts that he either owned or controlled. This is how the scam worked. Sarpong and his team of scammers targeted women on the dating sites Plenty of Fish, Match.com, and OurTime.com. They would tap into the hearts and the minds of these women using handsome photos of servicemen on their fake dating profiles. The so-called servicemen would then tell women that they met online that they were stationed in the Middle East, and that they had gold bars that they just so happened to acquire, and that they needed money to help them send it back to the US. The women being scammed were under the impression that they would be receiving the gold bars from the servicemen that they were sending over to the airport to pick up. The women would then get to the airport, and guess what? No gold bars. The women would empty their life savings just to get their heart broken. One victim sent all of her money and felt so terrible after realizing what she had done. She had taken her own life days after wiring $93,000 to 2 domestic bank accounts that Sarpong owned. Another victim sent over $300,000 to 4 US bank accounts that were all going back to Sarpong. They finally booked this guy through criminal complaints by the women he was scamming. With many of the women coming forward and Sarpong putting his work on the end to get busted, prosecutors along with several agencies collaborated in bringing charges against Sarpong. He was arraigned on Wednesday in Camden Federal Court. And so concludes the shocking case of Ruben the Flexer Sarpong. For more in-depth details on this case, please feel free to check out the blog, linked in the description down below. For teasers on new episodes, be sure to follow us on our other social media pages. Let us know in the comments, do you think Ruben knew he was going to be caught for flaunting all that stolen money? Hit that notification bell and subscribe button to be notified when the next episode of Caught, presented by Catfished, goes live.